Stepping in for Ethan Hyatt, Joey Cisneros.
Hi, I'm introducing a peaceful protester and Santa Monica City Council candidate, Kelley.
Thank you, Joey Cisneros. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Can I give you something there, Dorian? 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica. Good to see you. How are you doing? Everything's going all right?
Yeah.
You see my new, I wear this, I wear it over my t-shirts. Yeah.
I like your shirt. Look at all that.
Yeah? You like the colors?
Yeah.
And then the other side. So I put it over myself. Oh, I might as well show people. No, because it'll come out backwards on my live stream, so I won't put it on. I made a new poncho that I wear over my t-shirts that says Wade Kelley for Samo City Council, and on the back it says Wade for Human Rights. So we're gonna be, it's part of my campaign. Good to see you, Dorian. You have a great night. I hope you're doing wonderfully. That's right. Thank you and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless and running for Santa Monica City Council in 2026. To stand up for human rights. That's right. Because this city has done a terrible job of standing up for human rights. They've criminalized poverty and homelessness, and that is the wrong direction. No matter where you're trying to get to, if you are criminalizing poverty and homelessness, you are moving in the wrong direction. And that's what we need to keep telling every government. That's what we need to tell every city government, every state government, and the United States of America. We don't want to be like one of those countries that treats its poor people terribly. We want to lift people out of poverty. That's what this country is about, making things better for everybody, working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because we haven't gotten there yet. And if you've got rich people having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets, you're moving in the wrong direction. If you have one man who owns more wealth in this country than the bottom 50% of our population, you're moving in the wrong direction. And that's why we all need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. We need to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives and help lift people out of poverty. Make things better for human beings, not punish human beings for being poor, but make life easier for those who are suffering and who are down and out. Raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. You know, some people say to me, they say, you know, I'd like to raise taxes on the billionaires, but this is the wrong billionaire tax. This billionaire tax has faults. And I say to those people, well, what other billionaire tax is going to be on the ballot in California this fall? We only have one billionaire tax that will be on the ballot this fall, and we all need to get behind it. Because as we can see, these little robots are doing fine. See, you got your little Coco robot over there. He's being taken care of, being cleaned up, and they make sure he runs fine, and all of his circuits are taken care of, and he's charged up. And we have homeless human beings sleeping in the streets. That's where we're moving. We're moving further and further into this technological era when more and more of the jobs are going to be going to artificial intelligence and robots. So we need to stand up for human rights. And to do that, we're going to need to have some balance. We're going to have to correct our business model. We got to balance our business model because it's not working right now. If you have rich people having space races while poor people sleep in the streets, you got to change your business model. So we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. A lot of people say to me, well, we can't raise taxes on billionaires because Trump's in power. We can do it right here in California. We can raise taxes on billionaires right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. We can do positive things. We can help lift people out of poverty and make lives better for people right here in California. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office. And we certainly don't need a governor like Governor Newsom running for president. He couldn't build any affordable housing, and he told all the cities to criminalize poverty and homelessness, tear down encampments when he didn't build any affordable housing. We need some leaders who will really stand up for the poor and the homeless and make lives better for people here in California, right here in Santa Monica. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up for human rights and to tell our leaders, tell the rest of the people here in Santa Monica, we got to build some affordable housing. We have to make sure that we have some safe spaces for homeless human beings, because right now what they're doing is criminalizing poverty and homelessness, and that's the wrong direction. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. This is a start, you know. It's a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires here in California. A 5% wealth tax that will go to poor people's health care here in California and help with food programs and some education programs. And we need to get behind that Billionaire Tax Act so we can adjust things a little bit. That would be hundreds of billions of dollars. It'd be a whole lot of money going toward health care for the poor here in California. So let's get behind it. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office. Some people say to me, listen, if you raise taxes on the billionaires in California, all the billionaires will leave California. I say, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. If you're the kind of billionaire who thinks it's okay for billionaires to have space races while poor people sleep in the streets, you need to move to, well, then you need to move with Elon Musk over to Texas and take advantage of the poor people over there. Because here in California, we believe in human rights. We believe that everybody should have the basics in this fourth largest economy of the whole wide world. But if you want to pay the 5% wealth tax and stay here, if you're a billionaire, And you might be a billionaire, I'm not sure. But if you're a billionaire and we raise the 5% wealth tax on you, and you say, no, I'm not going to pay that 5% wealth tax, I'm going to move to another state. And then I say to you, well, if you want to move to another state because you don't want to pay your fair share, then you go ahead and move. Because we need to be lifting people out of poverty. We are supposed to be a progressive government, a progressive state that believes in the rights of people to thrive and survive.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can ask me a
Are there
question.
more poor people per the...
Go, you can ask over here on the, so people can hear you if you want.
Okay, now I'm just wondering, percentage-wise, the amount of people that there are in Texas versus the amount of people that there are in LA, if you take 100,000 people, see how many of them are below the poverty line in California and in Texas? Which state do you think would have more poor people per 100,000 people?
More people, the state of Texas or the county of Los Angeles?
No, the state of California versus the state of Texas.
All right, California has 39.5 million
You didn't hear
people.
what I said. I said take 100,000 people.
Oh, all right, but 100,000 from where?
No. Per
They still have a $7.25 an hour minimum wage on their books. You understand that? In the state of Texas, they don't have any poor people's health care in Texas. And that's what this tax would be used for. Texas doesn't have any poor people health care because they don't think poor people deserve to have health care.
So I'm asking you, do you think there are more poor people in California than in Texas, or in Texas than in California?
I think the housing costs in California make it harder to survive here in California, and therefore you can have a lower income in Texas and probably do just about as well. But if you've got a lot of poor people that don't have any health care, here in California, I can get my teeth cleaned. I get my teeth cleaned every 6 months or so, and I'm poor. I make about $12,000 a year on Social Security because I'm old and I want to remain poor until I die because I believe it's all right to be poor, and I want to stand out on these streets and stand up for the rights of poor people to have the basics: a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. Now in Texas, they don't believe that poor people should have health
Would you
care.
rather everyone be poor than everyone be rich?
I would rather everybody be able to survive instead of one person owning 50%, more than the lowest 50% of our population in this country. That's right. Elon Musk is a trillionaire today, and he is taking advantage of the poor people over in Texas. And he owns more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population here in the United States. And we need to raise taxes on Elon Musk, but we can't. But we can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. So we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Yes. My name is Wade, by the way. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. What's your name?
My name's Jake.
Jake, nice to meet
I
you.
just got a simple question. If you want to raise all the taxes on the billionaires in California, they'll all leave to Texas and Florida.
And that's what I was just talking about. If you're the kind of billionaire who would leave, if you're the kind of billionaire who would leave because you're paying a 5% wealth tax to help lift those in poverty up to make sure they have health care, then you go ahead and leave. Go follow Elon Musk over to Texas, or follow some other billionaires over to Florida, and maybe the housing costs will go down when enough of those billionaire estates are opened up for more people to live in. I have no problem with the billionaires leaving California. If you're the kind of billionaire that thinks it's okay for you to have space races while poor people sleep in the streets, then we don't want you here in California. We want the kind of billionaires and rich people that believe that they have done pretty well and they need to pay decent taxes. It's in our Constitution here in the United States of America that Congress should raise taxes for the defense and for general welfare. Well, when you have one person owning more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population, it was time to raise taxes a while ago, but since we're not doing it federally, we need to do it right here in California.
Okay, so I'll ask you a different question. Let's say California state decided that anyone who makes under $20,000 has to pay 10% tax. And the
If
state
they
would
said
have
that
to-
anyone who has to, anyone who, what?
I didn't finish my question.
Finish your
And
question.
The state of Texas said that anyone who pays anyone who makes under $20,000.
I can't do anything about the state of Texas. Well, you want to talk about California? Go ahead.
But
Talk about California.
You're speaking hypothetically. You're saying that if we raise taxes here for billionaires, all right, then
It's going to be on the ballot in November.
But I'm trying to tell you that every,
But
every smart person would leave.
it's not hypothetical. It is on the ballot this fall. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, and we need all of our leaders to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. If you call yourself a progressive or a Democrat, you need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 and help lift people up and make sure that everybody can have good health care here in
Can I
California.
just ask you one question? Just listen out for the whole question, okay?
I'll listen as much as I can, Jake.
Okay. So, same.
If you're going to go into a hypothetical, if you're going to call the Billionaire Tax Act of California a hypothetical, I have to correct you because it's going to be on the ballot in November.
Okay, so 1 second. So, imagine if one state is charging you 10% tax and another state is charging you 5% tax. Any smart person would move to the state that charges you 5%. Doesn't make a difference if they're billionaires or they're poor.
You know,
if you're poor,
listen, you're trying to say if people have to pay taxes and they move to another state, or if a billionaire like our own president, who got away without paying taxes many times, if he had to pay the taxes that he was supposed to pay, and he just said, well, if I have to pay taxes, I'm going to move to another country, what would we do? We'd say, bye-bye, go to another country, because we want people in this country who believe that we're working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We're not here to kowtow to the rich and the powerful. We ended that with the Declaration of Independence. We don't need to kowtow to the rich and the powerful. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody to pursue their happiness. And that's what we need to get in the heads of people all around this country, the rich people especially. We're not here to just make you better. We're here to make things better for everyone. We don't need to take advantage of people for their labor and not give them a pathway to citizenship for generations. We need to stand up for the rights of everyone in this country, not just the rich and the powerful. And does that answer your question?
You didn't even hear me out.
I heard the question. You said if somebody has to pay more taxes in one state than the other state, and they want to move to the other state, doesn't that make sense? I said yes, it makes sense that people that cheap people who don't believe in democracy, don't believe in patriotism, would just try and just think of greed. But this country is not just about greed. That's my point. It's about making sure that everybody has the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. In this fourth largest economy of the whole wide world, California. That's right, we are the fourth largest economy. We don't have to wait on anybody to raise taxes on our billionaires. We can do it right here. Good to see you, David. Andre, Miguel, good to see you guys. So we need to keep standing up, and I hope you keep learning about this, Jake. Keep learning. Sometimes you got to adjust your business model. If rich people are having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets, you got to adjust your business model, because that ain't right, and that's not sustainable either. And that's why we need to keep lifting people up, making things better for everybody. That's what we're about here.
Do you want to sing a song together? I have a harmonica. You want to sing "Oh Susanna"?
No, I'll sing "This Land Is Your Land" if you want to play that.
I just know a couple songs on the harmonica. I know "Oh
Well, I
Susanna."
bet
No.
this land is, it's pretty much like "Oh Susanna." This land is your land. What key is your harmonica?
Let's see.
This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Come on. okay. Sunshine, my only sunshine. Please don't take my sunshine away. Here you go. You are my.
I don't know. I know Susanna. I know Red River Valley.
Well, you work on This Land Is Your Land and come back and we'll play that.
All right.
All right, Jake. Nice
about,
talking with you. Nice meeting you.
How about
How about we keep working towards a better day for everybody? This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. That's right. We got to keep working towards a better day. We haven't gotten there yet. We got tens of millions of people who are living in the shadows. We have tens of millions of people who are living in the shadows that have been used for their labor and not been given a pathway to citizenship. We need to stand up for their rights. We need to boycott. We need to strike. We need to do whatever until our Congress actually passes some immigration laws that will stand up for these people and find a pathway to citizenship for these people who have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. We got to continue to stand up for human beings, poor people, those who have been used for their labor. We don't need to kowtow to the rich and the powerful. That's what we got rid of when we signed the Declaration of Independence. We said, hey, we're done with kowtowing to the rich and the powerful. We need to stand up for everybody's rights in this country. And it took a long time to get this far where we are today. Because, of course, when that Declaration of Independence was first written, it only benefited the rich white guys who owned property. And that's what a lot of people think today. They think the only people who should have rights are the people who own property. That's what they think here in Santa Monica. These homeless people shouldn't have any rights because they don't have a home here. Well, there's a lot of people that have been living in these streets here in Santa Monica for years, and we need to stand up for their rights to be part of their democracy right here in Santa Monica. And we need to stand up for their human rights and say, no, you don't persecute people. You don't punish people for being poor and homeless just because you haven't built enough affordable housing in California, just because you haven't done your job to lift people out of poverty. We got to keep working towards a better day. Ain't that right, James? You got anything you want to say? Do you have anything you want to tell the people? No. He says no, but I know he does. He wants to stand up for human rights, and that's what we're doing right now. But you keep, you doing okay? Good to see you. You have a great night. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
I want to say something.
Oh, he does want to say something. Now you want to talk. While I'm singing, he wants to talk. I see. This is James.
Hey, don't pay a mortgage, don't pay rent.
All right, that's one way to look at it. You ought to be able to survive even if you don't pay mortgage or if you don't pay rent. Ain't that right, James, here in this richest, most powerful country in the world? Now, some people want to own a place, and that's fine. Some people want to have their own apartment and pay rent, and that's wonderful. But if you're poor and you can't afford to pay rent, or if you're poor and you can't afford a mortgage, then you need to be able to survive. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands. Thank you, I'll be sharing that with the homeless. From the Gulf Stream waters, redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. This land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Hey, hey, ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Give me your time, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land was made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Oh, this land was made for you and me. How you doing? Can I give you something? Can I give you a few dollars here? No? Okay. So we got to keep working towards that day. And, you know, that's very interesting. A lot of these young people say, but why would you want to upset the billionaires? A lot of these young people say, well, we can't raise taxes on the billionaires. They're the ones who create all the jobs. Well, you know what? We'll be okay without them creating all these good jobs that keep people sleeping in the streets. If they're doing such a good job of being benevolent billionaires, then why do we have so many homeless people here in California? Obviously, because the tax structure is not right, or it costs too much to afford housing. Either way, we need to rebalance our business model here in California. And that means we need to raise taxes on the billionaires, and we need to lift people out of poverty, because the billionaires here in California haven't done their job, and neither have the billionaires around the rest of the country. If they wanted to make sure that everybody could have a decent place to live, they would have made sure that all of these houses didn't go off the market and become profit-making machines for different corporations. They would have said, hey, let's make sure that we keep enough housing available for poor people to have a decent place to live. But they didn't do it. the free market does not care about poor people. It only cares about how much money they can make, and that's why we have laws that tether in, that rein in the free market, because if we just let them do whatever they want, they would have all of us sleeping in the streets while they are having space races. We need to make sure that the rich people pay a fair share in this country, because they haven't been doing it for years. You know, under Franklin Delano Roosevelt, there was up to 94% tax on the books in this country for the richest people. Sure, most of them only paid about 79%, but that's a lot more than the rich people pay in taxes today. And we helped lift a lot of people out of poverty during Franklin Delano Roosevelt's administration. They started programs like Social Security and unemployment insurance and the Fair Housing Act. We need leaders who believe that human beings should have these sorts of things today, and not to make excuses for why we shouldn't raise taxes on the billionaires, because that could be a bad idea for business, you know. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Hey! I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. It ain't a crime. Not yet. Well, actually, they've made it a crime to be poor here in California, here in Santa Monica. If you are a poor person and you sleep in public places, they can give you a citation for their no sitting, no lying law, or their anti-camping law, because you're poor and you're homeless, and they don't like poor and homeless people here in Santa Monica, and they pick on them, and they put them in jail, they put them in programs, and then they spit them out after they're in these programs, and they still don't have a place to live. They've just been punished and punished, and they still don't have places to live, certainly not here in Santa Monica. They want to bring in all their laborers from different cities, and they don't want them to stay here at night. Get them out by midnight. Close down the train. What time do they close that train over there? Get them all out of town by midnight. Get them on the last train out of town, because we don't want any poor people staying the night in Santa Monica. I don't know how many people I've heard say, you know, before they had that train coming to Santa Monica, everything was so good. Everything was so good before they had the train that comes from downtown. It brings people, bad people here. You know, we got public beaches right here in Santa Monica. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California. Those beaches belong to all of us. And mostly rich white people live next to those public beaches. Why is that? There is no dolphin king who said, only rich people can live next to the ocean. No. It is just the rich people been pushing the poor people out for so long, and that makes for segregation. We haven't gotten to a place where we have integration yet here in California. I know there's a lot of segregation all around the country, and we're not trying to be like some of those southern states that are very segregated. We want to be integrated. We want to continue to integrate. Make sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world, in this fourth largest economy of the world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. So we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. That's right, we got to keep speaking up, because too many people want to kowtow and bow down to the billionaires, but we know that we're going to get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. It's going to be on the ballot this fall. You heard about it? Huh? You're going to vote. We got, he's in a different state. We can't raise taxes on him. Wherever he is, if you can move to Texas and get them to raise taxes on Elon Musk, I'm all for you. But right now, we got to raise taxes on the billionaires that are here in California. We can't get Elon, because he already said, no, California, you're making me pay taxes and you're telling me what to do, so I got to leave. That's what he did. And that's why we have to raise taxes on the billionaires that are left here. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye someday. Hopefully not today. Let's put it off a little longer if we can. You never know when it's gonna come, but let's keep dancing, huh? Now, I don't want you to think that I think billionaires are evil, bloodsuckers. Some of them are just sick. They're just sick. They get a little bit of money, and they just got to get more and more and more and more and more. And more and more and more and more and more and more. And more and more and more and more and more and more. Let's look at Elon Musk. Let's look at Elon Musk. He is our first trillionaire. That's the last thing we need in this country, is a trillionaire. He has more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population here in the United States. I sure wish we could raise taxes on him, but we can't, because Elon Musk lives in Texas now. But we can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. Get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. Yay! That's right, that's just the beginning. We can start balancing things out. We can show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. We can help lift people out of poverty. We can help lift people, make sure that everybody has a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. California, we are the fourth largest economy of the world, and we are ranked 30th in spending on public education. We are the fourth largest economy. If we were a country, we would be the fourth largest economy in the whole wide world. And yet we are ranked 30th in all of the states in the United States for spending on public education. Now that's a shame. We are ranked around 40th in the outcome of our public education, and that's also terrible. But we need to spend a lot more money on education. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. You know, we spend about $20,000 per public school student, and we spend about $130, more than $130,000 on each incarcerated person here in California. So $20,000 for each public school student and over $130,000 for each incarcerated person. That's, oh boy. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. We need to lift people up right away. Right when they're born, right when they're starting school, we need to make sure that every child can have a good public education. It's going to make a difference in their lives. That's why we need to keep spending money on the low-income area public schools. Because we have some good schools in California. These schools here in Santa Monica are some pretty good schools because they can fund them. They can raise money like the Measure GS fund that takes money from each property that's sold that is over $8 million. And the first $10 million every year from that Measure GS fund goes to the public schools here in Santa Monica. Now these rich neighborhoods, rich cities, they can put a lot of money into their schools, but there's a lot of schools in Los Angeles, right down the road, that are way underfunded. And the kids are dropping out in droves. And we need to stand up for their right to have a good public education. We need to keep spending money on those low-income area schools. Keep putting money and services into those low-income area schools until the rich people want to send their kids to those schools. And then you will know we have done enough. But we also need to build affordable housing in these rich cities like Santa Monica and Beverly Hills. You know, Beverly Hills just pushes all the poor people and the homeless people out of their city every night. They lease beds, shelter beds in a lower income, more densely populated city. And they say, we'll pay for all the poor people to move out of our city every night. And Santa Monica wants to do basically the same thing. But we need to stand up for the rights of these poor human beings to have a decent place to live. We need to keep integrating. Because when you push all the poor people out of your city, you push out a lot of people of color. That's why Beverly Hills is 82% white. That's why Santa Monica is 70% white. When you push all the poor people out, you're going to push out a lot of people of color. And we're supposed to be working in the opposite direction. We want to keep integrating our society. We want to keep working towards a better day for everybody. Working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And that's why we need to raise taxes on the rich right here in Santa Monica, right here in California. Get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Tell your friends. Everybody needs to get behind that Billionaire Tax Act. Tell the leaders. Tell Javier Becerra, listen, if you don't get behind that Billionaire Tax Act, we're going to make your time as governor a very uncomfortable time because you need to raise taxes on the billionaires. That's right. That's right. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. Tell your friends, tell your family, get out and vote for that Billionaire Tax Act. We can show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives right here in California. We don't have to wait for the rest of the country. We can do some great things here. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around in the Bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I'd make you sad? Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye someday. Hopefully not tonight. Let's keep pushing it down the road and doing the best we can, helping to lift people up, make things better for human beings. Well, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around in the bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Hoo-hoo! And I'll keep on working at it. That's right. I don't care if I ever make another dollar. I'm old. I'm 67 years old. And I get the Social Security, and I got a little actor's equity pension. So I get by, but right now I don't have a place to live. I do have a place to stay, though. I have friends. But there are a lot of people that don't have friends, that are sleeping out in their cars and sleeping out on the streets, and they're being criminalized and given tickets for doing such. And we need to stand against that kind of cruelty, that kind of inhumanity. Good to see you, Peace. We need to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And that is why I am running for Santa Monica City Council. And I know if I got that job, I'd be making about $20,000 a year. But I try to give a lot of that to the homeless as well, until we can make sure that everybody could have a decent place to live. Wouldn't that be nice if you didn't have to wonder about why these people are homeless? If you didn't have to ask yourself, well, do we have enough housing? No, we don't. Well, these people don't really want a place to live, do they? Yeah, most of them do. And we don't have enough affordable housing to ask that question. So many people say to me, they say, well, these homeless people, they don't really want a place to live. I say, where's the housing? Tell me where the housing is right around here for these homeless people that have been living on the streets of Santa Monica for years. Where's the housing for them? And you show me that housing, and then we'll see how many of those homeless people want a decent place to live. They say, oh, these homeless people, they have mental health problems, and they are drug abusers. Well, I tell you, if they do have a mental disability, or if they do have a substance abuse disorder, can you imagine how much harder it is for them to have to find a safe place to sleep every night and to deal with their mental disability or their substance abuse disorder? We need to be standing up for the rights of these people to have a place to live so they can deal with their substance abuse disorders or their mental disabilities. Because there are a lot of human beings in the United States with those problems that do have housing, and that makes it a little bit better for a lot of people. And, you know, after we get everybody into some housing, we can work to make them perfect, just like you and me. Then we'll all be perfect. But right now, the real subject is housing, is making sure that everybody can have a decent place to go at the end of the day, or even in the middle of the day sometimes. We can do better. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. We have too many people blaming the poor for sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. I was sleeping in the park the other day, ain't got no, let's try that again. I was sleeping in the park the other day, ain't got no home, no place to stay. Cop gave me a ticket, I asked him what for. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Let's try another key. I was sleeping outdoor the other day, ain't got no home, no place to stay. Cop gave me a ticket, I asked him what for. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Everybody said, hey, what you in for? I said, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. The rich man, he can sleep on the grass, but the poor folks better hurry or they'll haul in your ass for sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Oh, everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Oh, the judge, he said to me, son, you got more rights walking around with a gun than sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Oh, the rich man, he can sleep on the grass, but the poor folks better hurry or they'll haul in your ass for sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Oh, the judge, he said to me, son, you got more rights walking around with a gun than sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 That's right. There, you know, I was in this debate for the Santa Monica City for the Santa Monica City Council hosted by the Santa Monica Democratic Club this past Wednesday. And I think some of these people didn't, what? I'm talking about running for Santa Monica City Council right here in Santa Monica. I'm talking about standing up for human rights. I'm talking about standing up for human rights. Standing up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. I want you to get involved and I want you to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. This land is your land. This land is my land from California. So what we got to do is we got to keep standing up and speaking out for the rights of everybody. We got to stand up for, we got to tell Santa Monica right here, we got to tell Santa Monica, listen, stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness. That's the wrong direction. And a lot of these people running for Santa Monica City Council, they don't even believe that they are arresting people. They don't understand. They're not getting involved. And for them to sit on that stage and say, well, I think the Samo Bridge program is doing a good job, I had to tell them, good to see you, Jerry. Good to see you, Tiffany. How you doing? Well, I hope you have a great night. And thank you. Peace and love. Hey, all right. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace, it's about love. That's right, I'm just trying to spread the peace and love around a little better, and that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, because I want to make sure that these poor people that have been suffering here in this city, suffering because everybody wants to criminalize their poverty, I want to make sure that they can thrive and survive just like the richest people in this city. We need to be standing up for the rights of everybody, and that's why in this debate, I told these people, listen, this Samo Bridge program is just punishing people for being poor and homeless. It's just giving people citations and telling them, listen, we'll get rid of your citation if you go through these programs. And then they go through the programs. Only 54 of them actually got through the programs out of 462. And those 54 still ended up homeless. They didn't end up with any housing here in Santa Monica. I mean, if you're gonna punish people and put them through all the ringers, I would hope that you are making some progress in at least housing them. But we need more statistics. We need more transparency by our police force here in Santa Monica. We need our police department, Santa Monica Police Department, to tell us why they are approaching all of these homeless people. Is it because they have too many bags? Is it because they were just sleeping, or were they lying down? We have people being given citations for sitting all on the sidewalks now, everywhere. Listen, let me remind you, if you are here on this promenade, please sit on the stairs and the concrete slabs around the topiaries, because those are exempt from the no sitting, no lying laws. Right now, they could be giving my friend Joey a citation if they came around. You can't sit on the curb, they might say. Let me see. Can you see yourself?
Yeah.
They might tell Joey, listen, you can't sit there on that curb. There's a law here in Santa Monica that says no sitting, no lying. But if they did, Joey could move over to the concrete slabs around this topiary where they have the dinosaurs there, and he could say, listen, these stairs and the concrete slabs around this topiary are exempt from Santa Monica's no lying, no sitting law. And I know it's a lot to have to learn just to survive here in Santa Monica, but we need to make sure that we are looking out for these poor people, because too many people just want to make their lives harder and harder. We need to stand up for their rights to survive. And it's a shame that they would threaten people for sitting when they take away all the chairs. They lock up all these chairs. Here, let me show you. You can see down there, they lock up the chairs and the picnic tables down there. They lock them up not just so that they can't be stolen, they lock them up so that no one can sit on them during the night, because they don't want to see poor people sitting on their chairs. They don't want to see poor people on this public promenade. And that's why I like to remind people, this is a public promenade. This promenade belongs to all of us. It does not belong to the business owners. This is not the Grove. This is not Disneyland. This is a public promenade, and I hope you all get out and exercise your First Amendment rights on this public promenade. Share your thoughts, share your beliefs, speak up, stand up and speak out for your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, your dancing, your singing, whatever you want to do. This promenade belongs to all of us, and we need to keep reminding these business owners. You know, I was at this debate last week, and they're talking about things that will bring back this promenade. Well, you want to bring back this promenade, make more poor people at home, and stop locking up the chairs late at night. But they don't care about bringing back the promenade. They just want to bring back business. They just want to make money. That's what they're concerned about. I told them they need a big community center in one of these buildings here on this promenade. You want to bring back the promenade, make it more accessible to human beings of all sorts. And if the rich people only want to take advantage of the poor and take money from them, that's one thing, but we can use this public promenade for a lot of great things. You know, they were showing the games, the soccer games, the World Cup games here, the football, soccer games, and it's nice when they have outdoor things for everybody that people don't have to pay money to take part in. That's a wonderful thing, a wonderful way to use this public promenade. But as far as pushing the poor people out and making it harder for them to be able to enjoy and have access to the promenade or the beaches, I think that's just a shame. That's terrible. They raised parking prices here in Santa Monica. They say, well, we need to raise our parking prices to be more comparative to some of these other cities. We don't want to be like Beverly Hills. We want to be like a progressive city that believes that everybody should be able to get to the beach, the public beaches. You shouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg to go to your public beach. You shouldn't have to pay anything to go to your public beaches. We should be able to have a lot more poor people enjoy our public spaces. Come on, we can do better. Oh, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. That's right, we've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We have to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives and help lift people out of poverty. California, we're supposed to be a progressive state. That's why we need to get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 and show the rest of the country that we can use that money to help lift people out of poverty. If we don't, then it's just our fault. We need to be able to use the money and make sure it gets used for the right purposes when we raise taxes. I mean, we gave Governor Newsom $24 billion to build affordable housing. Where's the housing, Newsom? Instead of building housing, he sided with Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court in Grants Pass versus Johnson. He said, I need the power to criminalize homelessness, to clean up the streets. That's what he did. And that's why after Grants Pass versus Johnson, that he told all the cities, you better be tearing down the encampments because I want to run for president. I want to run for president, so you better be clearing out those encampments. I don't care if they don't have any place to go and to live. You know, the Rand Corporation came out with a new study. They said the decrease in homelessness is not a decrease at all. These homeless people are just rough sleeping. After you tear down their encampments, all these homeless people are just sleeping out in the bushes with a blanket somewhere or with a cardboard box laying on the ground. It's called rough sleeping. So actually the number of homeless have increased in Los Angeles County and in California. We are not building enough affordable housing. We are not having safe spaces for these homeless human beings. Santa Monica would rather pay money for people to clean up feces and urine than to have a 24-hour secure public restroom here in downtown Santa Monica. And that's a shame. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cards for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. And we could do it. We could make sure that everybody who needs a place to live has one in this richest, most powerful country in the world. In this fourth largest economy of the world, California. In this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Hey, hey! That's right. Thank you, peace, thank you. That's right. We can be part of the solution, not continue to be part of the problem. We can help lift people up instead of tearing them down and punishing them for being poor and homeless. That's the wrong direction. When you criminalize poverty, you're not helping things. You're just making things worse, Santa Monica. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up and say, listen, let's work towards solutions. Let's stop criminalizing poverty and start having safe spaces for some homeless human beings, different programs that will help lift people up instead of programs that punish them and force them into programs that aren't even going to get them into housing. And you know, Santa Monica at the same time is closing down shelter beds, closing the San Michelle shelter very shortly, a 60-bed shelter, and they're closing that one down to lease shelter beds in a poorer city. Poorer, more densely populated, more racially diverse city. The city of Bell or one of the other cities that are lower income. You know, Santa Monica is a very wealthy city. It has one of the largest budgets per capita of any city in Southern California. And they're crying about, oh, we're kind of financially distressed right now, and we can't build a lot of affordable housing. Well, they haven't been building affordable housing for years. That's something they need to work on. They need to be standing up for the rights of people to have a decent place to live, instead of building rich people's housing, which they have no problem of doing. And nobody minds too much. A lot of people complain about noise and buildings being built, but they're sure happy when the rich people move in there because they just want to be around rich people. They don't want to have any poor people housing here in Santa Monica, and that's a shame. There are pickleball courts over here on 4th Street that were supposed to be 122 low-income housing unit, but these business owners here in Santa Monica, they sued the city, delaying it. They've been talking about building that 122 unit complex there since 2018. It is now 2026, and they're supposed to be closing those pickleball courts and breaking ground on that 122 unit affordable housing complex at the end of 2026. We will see. I believe it when I see it. I believe it when it's built. They'll find ways to keep from building it. I know. Very few housing units for low-income housing have been built here. It's a shame. But we don't want to get lost in the sea of despair, do we? We got to be hopeful, be optimistic, keep working towards a better day. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, because we can't give up. We can't just say, well, the rich people run everything, there's nothing we can do. Yes, there is. We can all get involved. You can run for office, you can vote, you can strike, you can boycott, you can walk out, you can sit in, you can do all sorts of peaceful things to work towards a better day. Like John Lewis said, do not get lost in the sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Keep on getting up. Keep on speaking out. Keep on singing. Peace and love's what it's all about. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Keep on lifting up. Keep on, lend a helping hand. We can't solve every problem, but we can try to understand. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Don't get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic, and someday we'll get there. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Don't get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic, and someday we'll get there. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Hey, yeah, and dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Hey, hey. That's right. We got to keep moving forward. Don't get lost in the sea of despair. Don't give up. Don't say, oh, Trump's in charge. It's all terrible. There's nothing we can do. Oh, ICE is running everything and we can't do anything. Yes. Keep getting involved. Keep speaking up. Keep having strikes and walkouts and sit-ins and tell your Congress that they need to pass a common sense gun laws and comprehensive immigration laws to find a pathway to citizenship for these tens of millions of people who have been used for their labor and not been given their rights. We need to continue to speak out and stand up for the rights of human beings to have the basics, a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. That ain't too much to ask in this richest, most powerful country in the world. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. And we need to stand up and move forward. Get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. We got to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. We have to show that progressive government believes that human beings should have the basics. That we're not going to punish people for being poor and homeless, but we're going to try to lift them up, try to make their lives better. These are important things. And if you're with the Santa Monica Democratic Club, I hope you tell your friends to endorse me for Santa Monica City Council. I need all the help I can get because I'm not going to be raising any money for my campaign. I'm not going to raise any money for my campaign. I will pay the filing fees and such. But any donations I am given, just like out here on the street, I will be sharing among the homeless. I will be handing it out to the homeless people all around Santa Monica. Because they're having a rough time. And we need to keep helping them until we build enough affordable housing, safe spaces, make sure that everybody can have the basics. That ain't too much to ask. I have a dream, gonna move to Hollywood. Make movies with my brother, yeah, that would be real good, yeah. We'll live in a mansion, we'll have lots of money. Folks that see me on the silver screen think I'm really funny, yeah. And if I do real good, I drive up in a Porsche and buy me a Dairy Queen. Now that ain't too much to ask. Ain't too much to ask. That ain't too much. That ain't too much. No, I said it ain't. That ain't too much. That ain't too much to ask. Yeah, my brother said one day, he said, Wade, after I make a lot of movies, I want to drive up in a Porsche and buy me a Dairy Queen. I said, brother, that's got to be a song. Hollywood Joe Kelley Jr. Then I'll get married to a pretty girl who's 29. We'll have lots of children, raise them where the air is fine, yeah. The girls, they'll be pretty, and the boys, they will be big and strong. And when they get older, they all will help me sing my song, yeah. And if I do real good, I drive up in a Porsche and buy me Dairy Queen. Now that ain't too much to ask. Ain't too much to ask. That ain't too much. That ain't too much. No, I said it ain't. That ain't too much. That ain't too much to ask. And if I do real good, I'll drive up in a Porsche and buy me a Dairy Queen. Now that ain't too much to ask. Ain't too much to ask. That ain't too much. That ain't too much. No, I said it ain't. That ain't too much. That ain't too much to ask. Well, that might be a little too much to ask for everybody to be able to drive up in a Porsche and buy a Dairy Queen, but It ain't too much to ask for everybody to have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. For everybody to be able to have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. These things have been talked about for years. Franklin Delano Roosevelt talked about that in his second Bill of Rights in 1944. And we haven't come near to achieving those goals yet today. That's why here in California, we need to keep moving forward and raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. And that's why we got to keep speaking up for the rights of everybody and standing up, saying don't punish poverty and homelessness. Don't criminalize poverty and homelessness. Let's continue to work towards a better day for everybody. Thank you, peace. Good to see you. Thank you. The road is long with many winding turns that leads to knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear, we'll get there. And I know he will not encumber me. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. And if I'm laden it out, I'm laden with sadness that everyone's hearts can't be filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return while we're on our way to there. Why not share? And the Lord doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. And if I'm laden it out, I'm laden with sadness that everyone's hearts can be filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return while we're on our way to there. Why not share? And the Lord doesn't weigh me down at all. brother. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Peace and love. You want to say anything?